Come on, join the Facebook, guys.
Are you ready?
Good morning, everyone. This I don't know what to call it, weather outside today in Texas. The weather has been mad disrespectful this week, off and on cold, but it is beautiful outside nevertheless. Today is Veterans Day, as everyone should already know, and I want to say thank you for your service to all our servicemen and servicewomen out there. Thank you for your service. I've served also, so we are brothers and sisters at arms, as I would tell people. Today I do want to acknowledge our veterans, as I've done, and I also want to give a special shout out to a young lady out in Miami. Her name is Makissa Lewis. She's also a veteran, and she's a veteran helping a veteran and helping veterans in South Florida. She's establishing a learning facility that will work with veterans to help them enter college and eventually earn a post-secondary degree. So big ups to Makissa, as she is starting this venture in business to help other veterans out. Okay, and so moving right along to our topic of the day today is, it's all about sellers now. So I finished the buyer side of purchasing a home. So now I'm on to the seller side, for sellers to sell their home. So I say to be market ready, okay? Be market ready to my sellers. And what do I mean by that? Instead of putting your house on the market, then trying to figure out what it is you need to do to get the house sold. Let's start out by getting your house market ready, so when we do put it on the house, we can sell it as quickly as possible. Okay, so moving right along, before you put your house up for sale, guys, what I would tell you is consider a pre-sale home inspection. Okay, so go ahead and get an inspector out there. I can supply you with a list of names of inspectors, or you can just Google it. I will advise someone, always advise you to Google and select your own home inspector that you may feel more comfortable with dealing with, and let them come out, inspect the home before you even put it on the market, so you can see if there's anything that's wrong with the home that needs to get repaired ahead of time before you even put it on the market. Okay, organize and clean the house. I know that may just seem like the most simplest task ever, but as you are packing up things and you're moving things around because you're decluttering the house and everything like that, it's going to be areas of the house that probably haven't been touched in a few months or something like that. So that'll be your time to go ahead and clean up the house, declutter as much as possible. I like to tell my sellers that let's just say that this is not your home anymore. You don't want it to be your home anymore, right? You're getting ready to sell it. So let's get it set and prepared for buyers to come in and they can picture themselves in that house. They can start personalizing that house for themselves. If they have you all over that house, it's going to take away from their visionary track of mind to say, hey, this would look nice there. I'm not telling you to not stage your house, stage the house, but what I'm saying is declutter it. Sometimes we have little keepsakes that are sentimental to us and dear to us, but it's an eyesore. Okay, let's box those things up. And yes, you can put things out in the garage. Buyers know that you're moving, so if you're boxing things up, you can put them in the garage if you don't want to go ahead and go get a storage facility or something like that. Okay, and get it clean and organized. I would advise to go ahead and get it professionally clean. Right at the beginning of you putting it on the market, get it professionally clean. And then also, once the home has sold and you have everything completely out of there, get it professionally cleaned again. Okay, now I would say get replacement estimates. So when you put this home up, well, before you put the home up for sale and you get a home inspection completed on this house, go ahead and contact some contractors to get some pre-estimates for this house to see what would it cost me to get this fixed. If it's windows, if it's that I need new flooring or something like that, what would it cost me to get this stuff repaired, right? Locate warranties, guys. So throughout you purchasing your home, and how long have you stayed in the home, I don't know. I'm sure you have items that have warranties, i.e. like your refrigerator, your stove, some appliances that you may have in the house may have warranties. Locate those warranties in advance. That way you're not running around trying to find them at the last minute, okay? All right, spruce up the curb. I can't stress that more than anything. All right, so let's take this for an example, right? This is the perfect example. You hear the saying that you eat with your eyes first, right? So even though we know that we're putting the food internally inside our bodies, but how many of you go out there first thing and you look at the food first, and sometimes you're like, ugh, that don't look right, I'm not eating that. Right? It's the same thing with your house. When you're getting ready to sell your house, you want that first impression to those buyers to be the best. Okay. So when they're pulling up to your house, they should be like, wow, this is beautiful. You know, those should be those impressions, expressions that they should be given. Okay. Not that, oh my gosh, it's cluttered. I can only imagine how inside is. If they can have the outside looking like this where the whole world can see it, imagine how the inside look where nobody else can see it at every day. So let's keep that in mind, that curb appeal, curb appeal, curb appeal. Okay, it could be as simple as painting your mailbox. If you guys have those mailboxes that's in front of your house, if you have shrubs out there, cutting those back, cut them back some, prune them up, make it look nice, cut the grass, do some weed eating, do some edging. Okay, if your garage doors are a little bit dated, paint them. Paint the front door, remove the welcome mat that you have at the front of the door and replace it with a new one, an appealing one, okay? That will be some of the items that I would tell you before putting your house on the market. Go ahead and take care of those. And as I touched on curb appeal, like I said, you trim those bushes and branches. If you have trees that's in the yard, trim some of those branches, especially if they're touching your roof, because once you get your that home inspection, that inspector should advise you to cut those branches that are either close to the home or touching the roof, because that can damage your roof. Believe it or not, the perfect storm comes along, or hard enough rain comes along and knock that branch down, it can tear down that roof. Okay. Set out some pots that have some bright flowers. You know, if we're selling in the spring or if we're selling in the summer, some bright flowers in a pot is nice and welcoming. When it's winter time coming to this time, look for some evergreen plants that will brighten up the area, okay, of the house, the appearance. Repair any cracks and holes, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more in detail. Edge the grass, as I said. Stow your garden tools and hoses out of sight. Okay, so let's not just have the hose just strung out in the front yard. You know, get one of those things that you can attach to the house, and you put the hose on it, you know what I'm saying, to show a very clean look to the outside of the house. If you need, buy a new mailbox. If your current one is just looking tore down, broken down. Upgrade your outdoor lighting. Depending on how long you've been living at that house, it might be time just to, you know, go to one of your local hardware stores and purchase some new outdoor lightings. Okay. I said the doormat. Clean your windows. So part of cleaning your house, as I stated before, take a look at your windows, guys. So you know they sell those things nowadays that you can screw onto your hose and go outside and just spray it and spray down those windows. That makes that plays a big part also, because once the inside gets clean and whatever, you open those blinds, you know, you could that light will come through, that natural light will come through to the house, even better once those windows are cleaned. Okay. Those are the numbers that you have on your outside of your house that lets them know that it's 1234 Elm Street that you're living on. You go ahead and polish those numbers, or if you need, replace it. Throughout the years, one may have fell off. Replace it. Okay. Mow your grass. Okay. All right. Now, I want to talk about, those areas of the house that people always ask, when I'm getting ready to sell my house, what do you think I should put more focus to get a better return, right? And I would advise anyone, those major items in your home that are defected, go ahead and get those items replaced, repaired, whatever, before you start doing the cosmetic things. Okay. So for instance, if you have a roof and it's been leaking, okay, go ahead and get that roof replaced. Okay. That will help with your return on investment also. All right. If you have any electrical problems going on in the house, let's say, for instance, this outlet doesn't work, or this light switch hasn't worked in a few years, so we just put a lamp in here. Okay, that's not going to be suffice for someone that's purchasing this house. So go ahead and get those needed items out the way first. Okay, if you know that you need a brand new water heater, the one that you have has went out on you several times, go ahead and get a new water heater. Okay. Then we'll move on to, your kitchen and your bathroom. Those are your main items of the house that you do want to get fixed. I won't say you want to get fixed if nothing's wrong with it. Like, you want to spruce those up. Okay, let's walk and look through the house. If your cabinets are looking kind of like outdated, you know what I'm saying? Some of the finishing on your cabinets are stripping or things like that. Do a coat of paint on it. Depending on the cabinets that you have, you can go into your local hardware store, like I said, and they have these special things that you can strip the paint off the cabinets and then paint them. Replace your hardware on your cabinets and on your drawers and things like that. That brings it up. I mean, that makes the kitchen, believe it or not, just repainting those cabinets, adding new hardwares to those cabinets, that spurs up a kitchen a whole bunch. And then, guys, let's take a look at that counter. All right, your counter spaces, right? If you have that laminate wood type of counter, and you know how water gets underneath it and it starts to bulge and things like that, come on, let's replace that. Replace it. You can replace it with another laminate, or you can look into granite or different types of countertops. Okay, and your flooring also. All right, your flooring plays a big part also. So if in your kitchen, if you don't have tile and you have laminate flooring or something like that, and it's ripping and it's tearing and things like that, replace it. Replace it. Replace those things that you know are going to be an eyesore. If your refrigerator and your stove is just dirty and cannot be restored and it's just burnt up and things like that, replace them. Replace them. Okay, because at the end of the day, you want this house to sell as fast as possible, right? Because the longer you're in that home, is more mortgage payments you have to make. Okay, so, and in your bathroom, if you need a new toilet, toilets aren't that expensive, believe it or not, and that can help spruce up your house as well. The counters and the countertops in your bathroom goes for the same as I said in the kitchen. If it's water going underneath it, is leaking and things like that, get those things repaired and fixed. A coat of paint goes a long way throughout the entire house. Okay. Paint those walls, especially if you're spontaneous like I am and I have colored walls. When you're getting ready to sell that house, paint it to a neutral color. What's neutral? Like an eggshell white, in that family, you know what I'm saying, of that neutral, natural colors. All right, you can go to your paint stores and ask them, and they'll let you know. All right, so paint goes a long way. And the bathroom, like I said, and like, for instance, your tub, I ain't throwing out no what would you say, advertisement to anyone or any product, but think it was Kaboom I used on this tub one time. And my goodness, it did works and wonders on that tub. So just a little elbow grease sometimes on some of the finishings and things will spruce up that house. Okay, so paint, look at your backsplashes, guys. Look at the backsplash. So as you're fixing those countertops, pay attention to those backsplashes. Are they outdated? You know what I'm saying? Did any of them get messed up as we were pulling out the countertop, or should we just go ahead and replace the backsplash as we're replacing the countertops? Okay, the vanity in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? Should we replace those as well? Take a look at them and see, you know, if it looks worn, the side of it, if, you know, sometimes when you mop and water sometimes splash on it, those things, some of those things are made out of wood, and sometimes it deteriorate. If it's deteriorated to the point where, you know, it's unfixable, just go ahead and replace it. Okay. All right. Energy saving thermostats, those help as well. Okay, energy saving thermostats. Then I want to go on, guys, to talking about, you know, with the weather changing, right? Here in Texas, yes, we're hot during the summer, but we do get a little cooler weather. Cooler weather. I'm not being loud enough.
No, I was just wanted to ask you, with you talking about making these upgrades before selling the home, then can you explain, okay, if I'm getting rid of the house, why do I want to pour this money into it? Is that going to increase my value, my equity in the home? Is it going to be able to increase the price that I can sell the house for?
Definitely. And what I want to say to that, and I'm glad that you asked that question, and that's a question we get a lot of times. I'm selling this house. The buyer could take care of all that. No. You've lived in this house. You have those wear and tears that just happened just from someone just living in the house. You have those wear and tears. Those items, you need to fix them. For instance, if you're living in the house for 5-6 years and you have carpet there, it gets worn. It gets worn after a while, and it's but so much stretching you're gonna be able to do with that carpet. And
no, I'm just, what are the top items or the top things I should do to my home that will increase the value? I mean, I
just said them. Your kitchen.
We know the carpet is, you know, if I don't, the next buyer might not want carpet, may want hardwood, I may want tile.
But you don't know what they want. What I'm saying is, if you have carpet in the house already and it's worn,
yes,
replace it. Either replace it with tile, replace it with whatever you feel you want to replace it with, carpet or whatever. But if it's just worn and whatever, trust me, people are going to walk in and they're going to walk right back out. So if you want to replace it with more carpet, go right ahead. Replace it with some more carpet. You know what I'm saying? But at least that right there will help increase the value of the house, because now you have new flooring. Okay, that makes sense.
The exterior of the home.
Now the exterior of the home, I was getting ready to start talking about that.
I saw your notes.
You saw my notes? Okay, I was getting ready to talk about that, especially with the winter time coming about. Now for the exterior of the house, that will be like your roof. Definitely, that helps increase the value of your home. If you're at an area that you can paint the outside, all right, and you know that siding, soffit part of the house that goes around, a lot of that is wood, all right? And if you walk around your house, sometimes it's chipped because birds come and they peck on them and things like that. The paint on them chips away. That right there, you're increasing the value because you're doing some type of repair to that home.
Yeah,
right.
And it makes the seller look at things like, oh well, this is a move-in ready house.
A buyer, yeah, it makes the buyer look.
A buyer. I have to do it. I don't have to do nothing more to this. We just move in and we live. Versus, oh, the carpet is jacked up, so I might want to remove that and put hardwood. I may want to remove that and put tile.
Right.
So basically, it's making it more available to live in immediate
move in. So you're selling your house now. We have those deals that we say as is. Okay. Now that's going to make a difference in price. So if you're one of those sellers that just don't want to do any repairs, let's not try to think that we're going to put your house to the top market value, okay? Because that's going to be another class that I'll give, that we're going to do a market analysis on that property, right? But if that property is not top value or top market value, we're not going to list that, because it's just going to sit. It's going to sit on the market, all right? So like Ron was saying, what are those items? And I'll reiterate it for you again. It's your kitchen, your bathroom, the major items in your home, like your AC, your roof. You get those things, your flooring, get those things right there taken care of, okay? Make that house move-in ready, so when buyers do come, or let's say I host an open house and I have a slew of people, then you can have multiple offers on that property. And that's your goal, to have an offer on your property and sell this house as soon as possible, okay? Now, to prep your house and get your house ready for the winter, guys, I have some things for that, like install a door sweep. So when you open your front door, your back door, and things like that, you have like this little black strip or whatever color strip it is for you guys underneath your door that, you know, sometimes you hear it rub on the ground or whatever. You replace that if you see that it's falling off. Okay, replace that. And this is for you homeowners that you're living in the house and you plan on staying there, or even if you're getting ready to sell it, install a door sweep. That way it will help with your electrical bills, okay? So the air is not escaping in and escaping out and things like that. Seal your attic air leaks. Any leaks that you think that's in your attic, go up there and seal them, okay? Close the damper. That's for your fireplace. So anyone that has a fireplace, if you've lit a fire lately, whatever, wait till it cools and whatnot, and then close that damper, okay? Because air can escape out, air can escape in, and just like the same thing with the door sweep, okay? If you don't have enough attic insulation, go ahead and add some more attic insulation, okay? Because with the winter coming, you know, you're going to have the heater on, and you don't want to spike up those bills because you don't have enough insulation in the attic, okay? If you can, install a programmable thermostat. I jacked that all up. A thermostat, guys, that you know that you can be at work, and when you know everyone is out the house, readjust your heater, or readjust your thermostat because no one is there. And then as you know everyone else is coming home, readjust it again. So when you have a thermostat that you can access remotely, you can be able to do that and help with your heating bills. All right. Clean your furnace. If you have a furnace, clean it. Get it serviced. I have some here that says insulate your water heater. All right, so if you have an older water heater and you're not replacing that water heater, go ahead and insulate it. I know in here it says you could do like a DIY where you put a blanket around it, whatever, but please make sure that that's feasible for where the location of your water heater is. So you could check your label on your water heater and see if it's allowing you to even insulate it, okay, if it's that outdated. And if you already have an insulated water heater, don't add any more insulation to it, okay? Lower the hot water temperature. Typically your hot water heater stays at about 140 degrees. Lower it down to about 120 degrees. That way, one, it'll help you from preventing accidents, you know, burning yourself and things like that, but you're still going to get that hot shower that you like and things like that. All right. And also saving. Insulate water pipes like outside, right, where you have your water holes and things like that. You can insulate that. My husband was telling me, because he does home repairs also, is they sell this thing that you can put on your faucet things outside to keep it from freezing over. Okay, and he also said to drain your sprinkler system. So if you're one that uses your sprinkler system, go ahead, shut it off, and I think you can go outside and turn on the valve and let all the water come out of there, and so that your sprinkler systems don't freeze over the winter. I know from personal experience, ours freezed over about a few years ago. And it can be a little expensive. Set your ceiling fan blades counterclockwise in the wintertime, right? So, you know, you have that little switch on your ceiling fans. Go ahead and switch it down. That way, your fan blades can go counterclockwise for the wintertime, all right? And also, go ahead and cork those window sills and around your door sills if some of the corking has been moved or deteriorated, because it does deteriorate over time. You can go ahead and recork those areas to help keep that weather outside. Okay. I touched on the sprinkler systems. And when you're hiring a remodeler contractor, all right, let's say, for instance, some of your flooring, or if you want to do your kitchen remodeling or bathroom remodeling or whatever, get at least 3 estimates, guys. At least 3 estimates when you're doing that. All right. Check for references for these contractors. See what they've done in the past. See if they have any pictures or any past clients that you can speak with, okay? And then last but not least, I know I told you guys that I had something for you Killeen homeowners. If you live in the Killeen area and you've lived in that home for over 5 years, right? The housing rehab program here in Killeen, they are funded. They got a block grant. And what it is if you have any major repairs that's needed to your home, your roof, electrical, plumbing, things like that, no cosmetic things, okay? So just because you want to paint a wall or some things like that. But if you have things that's prohibiting your living comfortably pretty much at your home, or it has immediate threat or health or safety issues to you, homes of elderly people, projects that require alterations for accessibility due to ADA, all right? So this program is here in Killeen, guys, all right? So you will contact, and let me get her information for you. You'll contact the City of Killeen Community Development Department to receive an application. So that's your first step. You're going to call into the Killeen Community Development Housing Rehabilitation Program, right? And ask them about the funding available for home repair, right? And so it is determined by your the household size as well as the income level. All right, so they have a chart, and depending on how many is living in your home, the income level for that home will determine whether or not you will be approved for this program. Okay, so once again, that is the City of Killeen Community Development Department. For those that, let me wait 1 second, the radio thing came on. So if you missed that, is the Killeen Community Development Department, okay? You contact them. The phone number I have for them is 254-501-7844, and that's 254-501-7844. So if you've lived in this home for 5 years or more, go ahead and contact them. If there's some repairs that's needed for this home, get in contact with them. Like I said, they're going to check your household size next to your income level and get you qualified. And just stay with it, guys. Stay with it. You know, with anything that you're getting help or aid with, you know, it's going to be some things needed, you need to do on your end. Okay, so if they're asking you to bring in pay stub, if they're asking you to bring this in and bring that in, bring it in, because at the end of the day, if you need this program and you're going to seek this help, just do what they're requiring you to do so you can get this help out. Okay, guys, so that's what I'm going to leave you with. If you guys have any further questions, You know, you can hit me up on my Facebook at any time, and I'll get back with you. You can go on my website, texasrealestately.com. That's txrealestately.com. To look at all my past videos. If you're a buyer, you can go on there and check out the past videos that I've done. Sellers, I'm going to be doing you the same way I did the buyers. I'm going to go piece by piece with you. Any questions y'all may have, send them in, okay? And this is Keneshia Haye, and I'm signing out on Veterans Day. And y'all have a beautiful, blessed Saturday, guys, okay?